Well, folks, hello and welcome back to Relaxing Woodshop. Of course, my name is David. Christopher's not feeling great, so I have a wee quick burst from him, a video from his house. So, over to Christopher.
Hi Dad, I just want to let you know I'm not feeling the best today. I'll not be up for the filming, so you're going to have to do this one solo. I just wanted to give a quick shout out though to the subscribers. We're getting close to the 400, our big target for the summer. So let's just keep getting them coming in. So you crack on, Dad.
Yes, so the wee critter's not feeling too good, but we'll keep going on with the video. So, as you know, this week it is getting the back chassis on, getting the wheels on, probably having to drill through that big heavy steel rod to put a split pin in, of course, to stop the wheels from coming off on each end. And then we'll get onto the front wheels with the suspension moving left and right as well. So there are people behind the video trying to put me off, so it's not going to happen. Morty's there, so hello Morty. So, yes, let's keep pushing forward. And as Christopher said, don't forget those likes and subscribe. And let's keep moving. Okay, guys, so what we've done now is we've cut these two pieces of wood the same length. I've done a wee design as to what way we're going to run the wood for the underbelly. Because what I want to be able to do is if we need to take off the rear chassis, it's going to be 2 bolts on each side, and that takes off the beam, the bolts, and the wheel itself, so it does all in one piece. So that will be a lot handier should we need to adjust for anything in the future. Because we want to kind of make this more of a hybrid system that if we want to turn it into something else, it can be done. And to be honest, with all this talking about this soapbox thing, I'm really taken by that, so I am. But we'll keep pushing forward where we're at the moment. Yep, so now that we've done them two together and sanded them down, with a hole here and hole here to obviously drill, hole here and hole here where we'll drill, then we're going to put them up on their side, and that's the important bit to make sure that that bolt hole that goes through is perfect all the way through, so there's no altercations. Okay, now that's done, what we need to do is you see where the 2 holes that were drilled through, we have our metal bar that's going to go right through and then get cut. We need a wee sleeve for it, so if the wheels do get caught enough that the bar twists, it's not going to twist out the wood. So we've got a wee plastic pipe, 20mm, that'll slide perfectly into the sleeve to give it a wee bit of wiggle room, should go, and hopefully it'll fit perfectly into the piece of wood, and then we'll cut off the excess. Okay folks, so as you remember from the last video, we did the half circle basically inside the wood itself to accept this bolt. So the bolt's going to go through, and then we're going to have a lock nut at the bottom underneath it. Then what we need is 2 nuts that'll sit inside here, and then we need the large nut that's going to accept the bar for the front wheel. And we need to weld this to this, this to this, and then the bar that's going in, we need to weld it in like a pool of welding there. So that's the fun part for me, because I've been a long time since I've done that. So we'll do this now, and then that allows us to get to the rest of the car and get it pushed through. Right, now, so what we need to do first, of course, is get the coating off the nuts, because it will not weld without it, or it'll cause massive sparks and plumes and bits falling off, and we don't want that with everything that's going on. And more importantly, I'll be honest, I'll probably do the bit of the welding outside of the workshop, because with this being a wooden workshop mainly, there's a lot of wood, wee spark in the wrong place could light it up, so we'll just do that bit outside. But we need to get these done first, so let's get that. So we're outside now. You can see I've locked it in place, so we've got the bolt to this side all sanded. we've got the bolt to this side, and then we've got the bolt here. So what we're going to do is we're going to weld along this line, and then we're going to weld along this line here, and then we'll turn it over and weld inside, and then we'll put the big bar into this bolt here, and then underneath it give it a good weld. Now, the reason for this bar going through here at this stage is, this means that when we take this out, the screw threads will match the bar, okay? So it's not like I'm being left out, not being able to match the threads, so it should, in theory, thread straight through and out the other end each time you need to use it. Some people say, why don't you just weld this to that? And that's okay, but once you put the rod through and weld this bit into the middle of this, there's no way of getting it back out should something go wrong, or a tire need, or a bolt need, whatever. So this allows me to be able to service the wee car as and when necessary. So let's get welding. Right now, so as you can see, we've done the welding, and yes, I know it's a wee bit spotty in that there, it's not fantastic, but it is good, and it's holding, so it is. So what we want to do now is cut the beam, or the bar, sorry, to the size for the wheel and the nut, and this nut here, and then we'll put that in there, and literally weld a pull in there to make that lock in permanently tight, and obviously to give a bit of extra support on the inner sides of these bolts. So let's do that. Right, now that that's done, you can see we're all set in place. So what I've done now is I put a wee bit of paper in each side for the screw, so don't, because what we want to do is put a bit of oxide primer, because we've took off a lot of the zinc protection, the coating and that there, we want to get a bit of oxide in that so it won't rust for the future. So we'll just spray that up, and then we'll bolt it onto the car and see how it look out at the end. Okay, so in goes the bolt through here, keep a nice size of ball washer on that side. Then we'll put this in here, and then we'll thread it through. Get the socket wrench, and we'll just feed it on through, and then by welding those two together at the same time of the bolt, we're going to find out if these two match up when this goes on through, because if it sticks and stops, we've got a problem. If it continues on through, we're lucky. There we go. The reason for it being a wee bit stiffer is, you probably noticed when I was welding, because I'm not perfect, I was sticking a couple of times onto the actual bolt itself and leaving a wee bit left over on the bolt of the weld, and that was forcing it a wee bit harder through there, but it's going on nicely now. So we'll speed that up, and then I'll show you at the bottom when we're finished. You can see it coming together really well now. So there's the inner brackets, and as you can see, watch what happens here. So that wheel has full free movement, so it does, okay? And obviously now what we need to do is we're going to get the steering wheel through the centre, through here, and have the wee bars out. As I says, I prefer to have it on the outside. It has to go on the inside, it has to go. And as you can see, the back wheel sit further in, again for that hot rod feel to it. And again, that wheel turns perfectly there, so it does. They're actually very, very, very loose, so they are in terms of good spin. But there, it is coming on great. You can see that whole outline there. You can start to work on ideas to the shape of it. And what we'll do on the next show is we'll start getting on the body. Well, there we have it for another week at the Relaxing Wood Shop. I hope you stayed with me in that one there. As you can see, yeah, we've really got the motion working there quite well. And the spin of the wheels, they just keep free flowing there, so they do. So that's what we want to see. So our next video is starting to work on the body, get the shape. Kind of want to make it almost like a one tub shell. Obviously we'll have to use multi bits of wood, but almost like a game of that hot rod feel to it, where it runs right the way through the body, and then maybe if I could work it, curve the back down again with that aviation plywood. So Christopher, is there anything else you want to say?
Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you later.
Brilliant. All right guys, take care, and I look forward to seeing you next week.